This is man 10 Allkandy. We're outside the dungeon. We are in Houston, Texas with VL Harris Trucking. Big boy 18-wheelers. Like I said, we got the Allkandy product. We got the Wet Plus going on an 18-wheeler. I've had a lot of truckers ask me, can we paint them? Can they be painted? Can we use your products on them? Yes, you can. You can use the clears, the Wet Plus or the Wet Max. You want that high solid content because of your road travel, you know, the debris, the amount of hours that you're on the road. You definitely want to go with the Wet Plus. We're actually going to paint this, Mr. Harris, come on over here with me. We got Mr. Harris. You see he's got that road gear. You see he's got that walkie-talkie set up because you already know he's on the road. Mr. Harris, let them know about yourself, your experience, what you got going.
I've been driving trucks 27 years. I haul heavy equipment, and that's pretty much, you know, we own our own.
What's your phone number?
281-932-7432.
Now, when you say heavy equipment, they don't understand what heavy equipment.
Those are excavators, heat exchangers, vessels, whatever you can put on an extendable RGN, that's what we have, a low bar trailer.
Tell them what kind of setup you got. Like say, what kind of truck is this?
It's a 1990 Peterbilt C15 Cat doing 1,000 horsepower, 13 speed, 4-speed auxiliary with 463 rear.
And tell them how many sets of axles you got underneath this thing.
4 on the truck and 4 on the trailer, 8 axles.
He ain't no joke. He's heavy hauling. What we got behind, he's going with a red, and then he's going with that red flake. Let me flip it around and show you this red flake. He's got that red flake over that we end up using. We did the red flake with the base clear, shot it over the red base, and now we're about to come over to Wet Plus. We're gonna actually re-clear. We're gonna double clear this whole setup, but we're gonna actually show you how 3 coats look like on this 18-wheeler. We're gonna do the cab is what we're about to do today. He's already done some of the fenders and stuff like that, but it's hot. It's in the 90s. I'm down in Houston, Texas. We're making it happen. It's your man 10 Allkandy. 318-918-0331. As you see on the cab, you see how it's flaked. I mean, it's rough. It's like sandpaper. 80 grit sandpaper, the way he's got the flake. He's added that much flake onto this truck, onto the cab, and that's what we're about to spray with the Wet. See how thick, how coarse, I should say, that flake is. It's a red flake over the base, and we're about to shoot the top of it with the Wet Plus. We're going to do 3 coats, submerge it down. We're going to come back and cut it with 600, and then he's going to go in and re-clear it. But I always had a lot of folks asking me, can you do 18-wheelers? Can your product be used on an 18-wheeler? It's not a problem at all. You just got to have a place to shoot it. That's it. You got to have a big enough location with a big enough door to shoot it. So this is 10 Allkandy, VL Harris Trucking, Houston, Texas. Mr. Harris, give them that phone number again if they need some heavy equipment to be hauled.
281-932-7432.
This is a VL Harris Trucking, LLC. Allkandy. I spray candy. We leaving them on the wet. I'm in here with BL Harris Trucking LLC. We down here in H-Town on the outskirts of Houston,
yes,
where it's hot. It's almost 100 degrees, but we spraying that wet plus on this Peterbilt. Tell them again.
379, 1990 feet.
And we doing it big.
He's the truck show in Dallas. Come to the truck show in Dallas. August 26, 27, 28.
Is that the GAT show?
That's the GAT show.
Tell them what the GAT stand for.
And the Great American Truck Show.
That's where he's gonna be, showcasing the wet on this, like I say, on this Peterbilt. But we out here spraying it, like I say, he's seeing how to lay it down for everybody. When you're shooting the wet plus, 50 pounds PSI, lays it down with no peel. You saw how extensive this the flake was. We put a whole lot of flake. It felt like a 36 grit sandpaper. It's covering it. He is actually seeing 3 coats. This is our 3rd coat of clear, and it has covered the flake. It has covered it. It has submerged it. All we got to do now is come back, like we say on our candies. We're gonna wet sand 600 and then come back and re-clear for the final, which he's already found out. It doesn't shrink, it doesn't die back, and he's not gonna have to buff it unless he wants to. And nobody wants to buff an 18-wheeler. So we're gonna tell you right now, for all you guys out there who are thinking about painting your 18-wheeler or getting your 18-wheeler painted, or bringing in, I'm gonna say this, bringing your 18-wheeler to a paint and body shop to get it painted, Mr. Harris, what clear do they need to have when they go?
Wet, man. That wet plus. It's off the chain.
Now, Mr. Harris is doing it himself. He's actually painting his own truck. He's doing it himself. He's actually painting it himself. You know, this is his job, his project. And since he reached on out to me, he's using the product on the truck. I know I didn't have a video with the product on an 18-wheeler, especially the type of 18-wheeler he's got. Plus, he goes to car shows. Guess what? I decided to come on down here so we can put it down and let it be seen and let everybody see that the wet plus is on 18-wheelers all day, every day, and it is what it is. And
I tried that House of Color, but it don't. That wet plus off the chain. That House of Color, it don't cover like this wet plus, and it don't have that shine like this wet plus. I mean, that's the truth.
Bottom line, he can't give you but the truth. It is what it is. It outperforms all the other big name brands out there. Please believe it. 3 wet coats. If this wasn't a big flake job with the type of flakes, these 3 wet coats would look like honey, laid down smooth as silk, where we don't even have to re-clear. But because of the clear, because of the amount of flakes, we're gonna have to re-clear because of the size. But if it was just if it was a regular base coat, clear coat job, a regular base job, no flakes, it's done. It's done. The way this clear covers, he's finding out it's done. But this your man 10, Mr. Harris. We inside his dungeon down here in Houston in 100 plus degrees. We're spraying the wet plus.
Wet plus off the chain.
What's the phone number? Because if they want a paint job, guess what? Give them that phone number just in case.
281-932-7432.
Now remember, this is a hobby for him. He's a truck driver. He's just painting his own truck, but he's got the experience, and this ain't his first time doing it.
Want it done right. It's gonna take me a little time, but it's gonna cost. But it's gonna be done.
It is what it is. It's gonna have the wet plus. It's gonna be looking nasty when it's all said and done. If you need them towing services, but sure, give Mr. Harris that call.
BL Harris Trucking.
Give him that phone number.
281-932-7432.
We're here. We done wet sanded 600. He had several of these. What kind of fenders? Come on in a little bit, Mr. Harris.
Yes, these are Talladega Fenders out of Talladega, Alabama.
And the thing is, these are what they call the Talladega single hump.
Yeah, the single hump fenders. This is a regular single hump. These are the what they call gangster single hump. It's got a lower dip to it to give it a gangster look, or to give it a lower
profile or something like that. Now, these right here, what we ended up doing, this is what he's got going back on his truck, and what we're doing, we flaked them on out. He had cleared them already. What we ended up doing was the wet sand. We wet sanded 600. As you can see, It didn't go through the paint. That's just a Wet Wear Plus. That thing is like honey. 3 wet coats, it's gonna look like honey. And it covered those flakes to where we were able to come back, Wet Sand 600, and get it handled. We're out here about to re-clear. So we're gonna put another tack coat, and then we're gonna do another 2 wet coats over the top, and then that's done. Mr. Harris not gonna have to buff this fender. This fender's gonna look like they've been buffed. They're gonna look like they've been taken care of already, and it's gonna be. But that's what he's gonna do to the 18-wheeler. So that's what you just saw us do to the 18-wheeler. We got out there and sprayed the Wet Wear Plus on the big, like I say, on the big Peterbilt, and you can still see the texture. That's no problem. It's gonna get cut down to where you see no texture here. You don't see any texture. We're kind of like. You can see now we done got rid of the texture. The texture is no longer, it's slick, Wet Sand 600. Now we're gonna come back for the re-clear on these Talladegas. Mr. Harris, but give them the man to talk to out there at Talladega on these gangster humps and these single humps if they're really interested in that.
Mike over at Talladega, Alabama. I don't have his number right off the top of my head. But
Do they have a website?
yes, Talladega Fiberglass.com.
TalladegaFiberglass.com.
BL Harris Trucking, send you over there.
BL Harris Trucking. BL Harris Trucking out of Houston, Texas sent you to TalladegaFiberglass.com. That's it. That's where you can get these low boys. That's it. That's the men to be. Call and talk to Mike. Tell him that Mr. Harris, BL Harris, and Tenant Allkandy sent you to buy the humps. And if everything goes right, for all you truckers, you can actually get the Wet Wear Plus through. You can actually get it through TalladegaFiberglass.com. On their website, they're actually going to start selling our Wet Wear Plus Clear, our Wet Wet Max. Those are our main ones that I would suggest putting on the 18-wheelers. You can buy them directly from them, and we'll actually drop ship it for them to your location. California residents can only order the Wet Wet Max. That's the only thing that we have compliant for California that we can send directly into California. Other than that, everybody else in the country can get the Wet Wet Plus. Wet Wet Max only goes to California, but we can send it to any other state in the union. That's no problem. So TalladegaFiberglass.com is where you get these low boys, these gangsters that you're seeing right here for your 18-wheeler rig, if you didn't already know. But we about to hit them so you can see what they look like with the Wet Wear Plus on the re-clear. You do not have to buff it. What you see is what you get. You will not have to buff these fenders if you do it as I say do it. If you spray it like we suggest spray it, you will get these results every time. And be sure to look for the finish. If you're a trucker, tell them that truck show you're gonna be at it in August.
Gas Truck Show in Dallas, Texas at the Convention Center. 26, 27, and 28. Come on down to the truck show.
That's in August, right?
In August.
So, give them that phone number.
Watch this watch this red Peter car with all these flakes in it with this Wet Wet Plus. 281-932-7432.
Let's go and put some clear on this. Let's quit talking. I know you will. You want to see the Wet Wet in action. We about to do it.
good there, man. That look down good. Ooh, that look good. Very good. That looks fun. Hey, that's a damn shame. That don't make no sense, yeah, man. Ooh. Ooh.